Welcome. Today we're here. I'm Laura Dawson. I'm an acupuncturist by training and I specialize in tongue assessment and nutrition. And I'm counseling Ryan Healy here today. He is my videographer as well as my client and I guess guinea pig. Does that make you my guinea pig? So he's going to let us use his tongue as a demonstration. So each one of you will learn about the areas of your tongue, what organ system they're reflecting on their behavior, and then how you can change the foods that you consume in order to make a change in that. So Ryan, we took a picture of your tongue and there's, can you get that going for me again? Yeah, great. So we have a picture of Ryan's tongue here and it's going to show for you there on the camera. He's going to fix that for us. And we're going to talk about the different zones on the tongue. And there are areas of our organ system that you can see appearing on your tongue. So Ryan has stuck out his tongue for me and we took the picture and we've used his tablet, and on the tip of his tongue we have a circle in red on our template. And Ryan, if you'll look at me and show me on your tongue, if you'll just stick it out, we're showing this front area of his tongue, and we're going to tell him, you can put it back in your mouth now, we're going to tell him that it's not particularly red or a different color than the rest of the body of the tongue, which the body of his tongue is mostly pink and relatively healthy looking blood-wise. So if it were paler, we would be a little bit more concerned that maybe he isn't getting enough good quality nutrient in his bloodstream for it to become a brilliant pink, a fleshy pink. But it looks like it's in good shape. It looks like it's fine. And the tip is not particularly red. Had it been red, that would have reflected in behaviors that would have shown anxiety or jumpiness or just a little bit of ungrounded behavior, because for whatever reason his heart would be agitated. But in Ryan's case, that's not what we're going to see today. So then we're going to go to the next area directly behind that, the oval in the middle. It's a gray oval. On this we use gray because it's actually a white area. It's reflected by the lung. The lung has greater affinity to the color white. The color white in food, the color white in our chemistry. So it tends to have a propensity to respond to the color white, whether it's visually observed or whether it's physically observed in flavor. So that particular area is a reflection of the quality of his lung function. And Ryan's looks fine. We don't have a deep depression. We don't have any coloration or any additional coat in that area. So despite our cold weather, Ryan is not reflecting any dampness being collected in his lungs. So he is a young, active man. I think that's probably part of it. It helps his lungs to filter out the fluids that build up in cold weather. So then on the sides of the tongue, these green areas that are on the ridges on both the left and the right side of the lung are reflective of your liver and your gallbladder, Ryan. And had you been a real poor eater, which so many young students and young people your age are, it would have reflected on your liver and your gallbladder, because the liver filters most of the toxins out of your bloodstream. That's part of its major function for the body. But yours looks like you're in pretty good shape. Had it been dysfunctional, we would be taking care of that area. It's colored green for a specific reason. It reflects the fact that foods that are colored green affect the liver the most. So they will cause it to be, well, green is the color of chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is a filter for the body, and it filters out the bloodstream. And so that's part of how the liver uses that particular chemistry, among others, in order to purify your blood and sort it out. So then this little shape in the middle that I call the Wonder Bread shape, on the middle of Ryan's tongue, you'll see this in the template, and it's on the middle of his tongue. You want to stick out your tongue at me and I'm going to look at it again. Yeah, you're in really great shape. For a young guy starting out in school, first, semester, starting out after a summer vacation, you're doing really well. So you want to watch that your digestion is showing clear in that area like it is now. When you start to see a coating of any kind in that area, that will mean that your digestion isn't going to be working properly. So you will find belching, burping, poor digestion, maybe cramping, bloating, etc. And you'll need to address that. It may even turn yellow, which means that you have bacteria in your gut, and you'll need to address that. And we'll talk about that further in the future. But all the way in the back is the area that I think we're going to focus on today, because as I told you, Ryan, that is the kidney and the bladder area that you've circled in lavender or violet or purple. Actually, that particular area of the body receives food that those colors, blue, purple, black, dark colors, and responds most effectively to them. That is the thing that you trigger it with. So, but I see on your tongue that there are a lot of bumps, white bumps. And those white bumps reflect that there's probably some clumping of maybe fatty tissue or something going on, some coagulation that's happening in the lower part of your body. And so the best thing that we can tell you to do is to make sure that A, you're chewing your food really well, B, that you're clearing out your stools and your urine properly, completely each day, and then that you're making sure that you're getting good chewing going on. Because if you're not chewing food, it tends to start clumping up in the areas of the body, and then you create immune responses to it. And an immune response is a white clump that forms around. Remember Pac-Man, everybody? That was Pac-Man.
That makes sense. I tend to eat really fast, and that
yeah, a little chewing would make a big difference. So that brings us to a quick footnote. Ryan just helped me segue into it, and I wasn't intending it. But one of the things that's most important in our digestion is chewing our food, particularly because most of our food is a carbohydrate. And carbohydrates don't get digested in the stomach. Our stomach does not produce the enzymes to digest carbohydrates so much. There's one little one, pepsin, a little bit of that there. But most of it happens in our jaw.
The saliva,
so
right?
So if you're not chewing your food into a small enough piece, your saliva can't surround it enough and can't start to break it down before it gets into your stomach, where basically the stomach is like a ripening bowl for it to just continue to break it down before it passes it through to your small intestine. So that's really important. So I'm going to suggest to Ryan today that he focuses on chewing consistently until everything is become very, very fine before he swallows. And you can divide your gulp into 3 parts, and it will also help your nerves in the back of your tongue. That's the hypoglossal nerve that's in the back of the tongue, by the way, folks. And for those that are older in the population, that's where you have, when a stroke happens, this area of the tongue becomes a gag response to it, and then you may choke. And so this is a very important area to keep the nerve responding. So in our next blog, we're going to talk, in fact, read my blog today, and it's going to teach you what is called the golden elixir, and it helps you swallow properly in a method that will encourage your hypoglossal nerve to connect with the back of your tongue and improve the quality of your swallowing and your digestion. Coughing may throw that off, so this is a good way to take care of it. So that's it for today.
All right.
Tip of the tongue and many more. So come back again.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. My pleasure. My pleasure.